Hi, welcome to Management 304, Advanced Issues in International Business. It is a fully online course, but I thought it would be appropriate if I introduced myself in a video so you kind of recognize my face maybe when you see me in the city sometime. Plus, I wanted to give you a very brief overview of what this course is about. Again, you can read the syllabus, you can find all the information there, but I just wanted to do it in person this time. So a little bit about myself first, and then more about the course. Many of you probably know me. Management 301, Introduction to International Business, is a required course for Management 304. And so I assume all of you have taken Management 301, and probably at least some of you have taken it with me. So hi, good to see you again. If you see me for the first time, my name is Dr. Vastaras. I'm originally was born in Ukraine, although it's been half a dozen countries before I ended up here in North Carolina. I went to high school in Germany. I worked all around Europe for a while. I did my master's in Texas at the University of Texas at Dallas, and my PhD in Canada at the University of Calgary. I've been here in Greensboro in North Carolina for 11 years now. My specialization is international management, and specifically managing people in international organizations. So something that is normally called international organizational behavior, cross-cultural management, that kind of stuff. This course is actually very close to what I specialize in. Much of the course will be specifically on how to manage people in different cross-cultural and international settings. Let me show you here my screen and the syllabus, and let me go about the basics of the course together with you. Again, if you are in front of a computer, you might want to open your syllabus and follow me, or we can just do it together. So let me open it here. So this is the syllabus for the course. You can find it on Canvas. There is a slight chance some things may be updated, but I'm not planning to do that much. When you communicate with me, please put Management 304 in the subject line. This semester is going to be very busy for me, and I always give a priority to my students. So if in the subject line there is Management 304, I know you're one of my current students, and I will try to respond to those emails as soon as possible. I do have office hours, but if you need to talk to me or if you need to see me, feel free to call me anytime, and you have my phone number here, or email me and schedule a meeting. Again, it doesn't have to be during those office hours, right? So I should be available most of the time in my office, and as long as you tell me that you need to see me or talk to me, I will make myself available at the time that is good for you. Prerequisites, as I said, Management 301 is a prerequisite for this course. I strongly recommend that you take that one first. In Management 301, we cover all the basics of international business. But there have been a number of topics in that course that I always wanted to talk about or talk about more, but couldn't do in an introductory business course. So Management 304 was essentially created to cover those interesting, kind of more in-depth, more advanced, more current issues. And so if you're taking this course, we will talk about those things that I always wanted to cover, but never had the time to cover in Management 301. Textbook, here is the textbook for the course. You have the actual citation in the text, in the syllabus. What I would like to say here is that the latest version of this textbook or edition is the 5th edition. But I have here the older editions, the 3rd and the 4th, and honestly, they're almost identical. So the textbook here is not too expensive. I think it's something like only $25, and I'm not sure why it's so cheap, maybe because it's been a few years since it's been published. But if even that is too much for you, feel free to get the older edition, the 4th edition, for example. The list of topics is the same. Some of the statistics are outdated, but other than that, it's basically the same textbook. And in this course, we will be talking about some things that are, how should I put it, not necessarily changing from year to year. Like, for example, when we talk about advanced practices of hiring employees or labor unions in different countries. It's not something that changes every year. Yeah, some numbers may slightly, some statistics may change a little bit, but it's not a huge difference from a year to year. So if you get an older edition, it's sufficient. It's perfectly fine. So now I also give you a bunch of, or several recommended readings. They're optional, but I thought you might enjoy those additional books if you have nothing better to do or if you want to learn more. In terms of the course objectives, as I said, the goal here is to sort of go beyond what we covered in Management 301 and sort of talk about some more advanced issues. But in terms of the focus, there are sort of two big components here. One, we will focus more on managing people in international organizations from the point you either go to work overseas or you hire people from other countries. And then we go step by step. So recruitment, how difficult it is to do it. Compensation, what can come up and what needs to be done, from the legal differences to the actual management tricks and tips. Labor unions, all kinds of things, performance appraisal, all kinds of things that may come up as you manage people from different countries or if you personally decide to work overseas. So more kind of fine-grained, more, I would even say, how-to stuff that we could not cover in the introductory Management 301 International Business course. Now, the second or the third of the course, the last part of the course, will focus also on a few interesting issues related to international business that, again, are a little too advanced for the regular intro course, but I felt is important enough and interesting enough to be covered in this course. So we will talk about things that are more, talk a little bit more about immigration, talk a little bit more about political systems, economic systems, talk about things that, as I said, a little bit, I would even say, controversial. And in fact, I'll try to present them as, how should I say, not softly, but as carefully as possible, because those are, hot button issues, issues that people strongly disagree about. And I'm sure even in this course, we will have some people who will have one opinion and then other people who will strongly disagree with that opinion. And again, my job will be there to sort of point out the issue, present maybe the views or arguments of each of the sides, and then leave it up to you to decide how you want to go about it. So I will not try to convince you that A is better than B or A is right and B is wrong, but rather show you that there are different opinions, that it's a contentious, important issue, and will explain to you what either side thinks about it so that you can make your decision, that you can form your opinion based on more complete information as opposed to just simply emotions or some propaganda that sometimes can become in your way on the web or on TV. In terms of the format of this course, it's fully online, so there is really nothing special about it other than that it is 100% online. So there will be a bunch of video lectures that I have prepared for you. There will be slides that you can also download on Canvas. There are readings, and that's basically how you hear from me or how you learn the course content. The way I hear from you is one, there will be several assignments. So 2 exams and 6 take-home assignments. Plus, for every lecture, there will be, similar to how we do it in Management 301, green questions. And those are sort of discussion questions that we cover or discuss in every lecture. And as long as you take the time to answer those questions and submit your answers, I will give you additional bonuses. So this way I know that you're following the text, that you're doing the readings, that you know what's going on in the course, and that you have put some thought into those topics. So again, those are the discussion questions that I discuss in the lectures. But as you're watching the lectures, if you answer those questions, it's kind of a signal for me that you're working hard and something that deserves a bonus, so you will be able to kind of get a little extra credit for that. When it comes to PowerPoints, again, as in my previous courses, the PowerPoints are intentionally designed to be wordy, so a lot of text, sometimes even complete sentences. The reason for that is I would like the slides to be used or usable as course notes. so that you can take the slides and review the course materials before the exam as if you are reading class notes. If I were trying to sell you something or convince you of something, I would design the slides to look neat and maybe contain only occasional pictures and nothing else. You know, like when Steve Jobs presents iPhone, you know, there is really not, you know, a slide with bullet points. There is only one compelling, engaging, interesting, exciting picture. But in this course, my goal is not really to convince you of anything, but to give you information. And I thought if I gave you more detailed slides that you can actually read, it would be a useful resource for you. So it would be something that you can use during, for example, your take-home exams. The exams are open books, open notes, but reading the book during the exam is a little too hard. Whereas when you have a few slides that contain detailed information, you can use them to both prepare for the exam, but also look up the answers as you're going through the exam. So my apology that the slides are so boring and so detailed, but that was intentional. Video lectures. Now, this is something I would like to discuss with you. So when it comes to video lectures, I'm torn here. So I created the video lectures quite some time ago. It's been several years since I recorded them. And I haven't taught this course for a couple of years, and now I'm teaching it again. And usually it is my policy to record the new set of video lectures before or each time I teach a course. But the truth is that one, it takes a whole day to record a 1-hour video lecture. By the time you set everything up, by the time you record the video lecture, by the time you render the video, upload the video, it takes basically a whole day. And honestly, I just reviewed the video lectures and they are good. I don't think I can do a better job today. So it's not that I'm lazy and I don't want to create a new version. It just seems like the ones we have are as good as it gets. One thing that I'm not 100% happy about is that I noticed that in some of the slides, the background music is a little too loud. And I actually noticed that for the later lectures, I removed the background music. So I think you only have the background music in the first lecture or two, and then it's just basically just my voice. So I think with my better microphone, maybe I could do a slightly better job now as far as the sound quality. But as far as the content, I honestly don't really see how I can improve them. So I think I'm going to stick with the old video lectures, but I will review each of them before the week comes to watch it. And if I see that there is a way to improve it, I'll record a new one. But for now, I think they are as good as I could do today. So there is really no need to re-record it. And it's not like, you know, some theorems or some numbers have changed and I really need to give you an updated version. So we'll stick with the video lectures as they are, but I will review them more carefully before each lecture, and if needed, create new ones. Also, to help you learn, I created several different versions of the video lectures. One, I posted the original MP4 files on Canvas. And so you can download them and you can watch them offline anytime you want. Second, I know that some people don't like to download video files that take space on your computer or phone, not to mention that some computers or phones may not read all video file formats. So I have also created YouTube videos or YouTube version of the video files. And so in the syllabus here, you have the links to the actual video lectures. And so you can literally just go and stream them on YouTube. So if you scroll all the way down to the syllabus, to the schedule, so for each of the lectures, you have the YouTube link here. And so if you don't want to download the files from from Canvas and watch them offline, you can just click on the link and watch them online. So that's a perfectly viable way, and there is no problem with that. Then if you would like to simply listen to the video lectures, that's perfectly fine. In most of the cases, you don't really need the picture. I mean, in the slides there or in the video lectures, you will see my kind of talking head just like here, and then the slide, the text. And I suppose it's probably a little bit easier to follow when you see the text and when you see my picture. But in most of the cases, I would say that you don't really need to see me. So if you would like to just listen to the lectures, that's perfectly fine. If you want to listen to them as you are, I don't know, jogging or maybe working out in the gym or cleaning your house or driving to work, that should be perfectly sufficient to just listen to the audio version. And so don't worry about seeing the picture. You can just basically listen to the text. That's fine. But if you prefer to read, if you are one of those people who prefer to actually work with text, the lectures follow the textbook. And so while in the lectures, I do provide some additional examples from my own experience, but technically, if you read the chapters, you will get the material fully covered as well. So that's perfectly fine. And so we will have the three components here in this course. So we will have several chapters from the textbook that will cover some basics of international business, and there will be a test. Then there will be a third of the test of the course, where there will be a few more lectures, a few more chapters, and then there will be an exam. And then the last third of the course, it will be 6 topics, 6 components, or 6 issues that we will cover and discuss in a slightly different format. So when you look at the schedule here for the exam, you will see that we have 1 lecture, 1 video lecture, 1 chapter, and 1 set of green questions for each week for the first several weeks, and then exam 1, and then we have another set of chapters, and then exam 2. But then we will have 6 controversial topics, such as job outsourcing, immigration, type of decision-making in different cultures, then free market versus planned economy, and then we will have the income inequalities, basically rich versus poor in different countries. And then finally, the world is flat, or maybe it's not as flat as some people believe it is. And so for each of these 6 final weeks, you will have some materials that you will need to review and then answer a take-home assignment. And so for some of those materials, it will be something like, for example, a TED Talk, or there will be some readings. For others, it will be actually a lecture of my own that you will need to watch in addition to the lectures that we had before. But the important thing is that each of these take-home assignments is presented as a kind of either or type of set of questions. So for example, when we talk about immigration, the questions will be, so is it good or is it bad? What's good about it? What's bad about it? Who wins? Who loses? If we talk about, for example, the world is flat, again, you will have to watch a TED Talk that talks about it, but then you'll have to do some research, and you will have to present to me arguments in favor of, oh yeah, the world is flat. We are basically now living in one global community, global village. Or no, the world is far from flat. And so there are still big differences in, how business is done in different countries. So it will be sort of specifically, deliberately selected topics that are, not only controversial, but there is no simple correct answer. And so your job will be to sort of compare and contrast, weigh different options, and then sort of present both sides of the view. So almost like a debate. And yep, that's basically it. So when it comes to the grade, there will be exam 1, exam 2, and 6 take-home assignments. If you want to get some bonuses, you will have to do the green questions before the end of each week, but probably during, as you're watching the video lectures or doing your readings. That's pretty much it. So I'll try to keep the course as simple and as clear as possible. All the materials are both on Canvas and also links in the syllabus. And if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact me. So I'm here for you. My goal is that everybody gets an A in this course. And usually, by the way, the grades in this course are pretty high. So the students who take this course, they take it voluntarily. Usually they are interested in international business. Most of them have taken my Management 301 course and apparently didn't hate it enough so that they decided to take Management 304. And I'm not planning to curve the grades. So if everybody deserves an A, I'll give everybody an A. B is also possible, but it would be very, very, how should I put it? Not unexpected, but shame on you if you get a C in this course. I mean, it's really not designed to get less than a B. And yes, obviously you can mess up on the exams, you can mess up on the take-home assignments, and you can get a C or even fail the course. But it would be a major disappointment for me, and it would be, I would even say, unusual. Again, the material in this course is not really that difficult. It is controversial. It is sometimes not common sense. It does require some understanding and reading, but it's not statistics. It's not accounting. It's not quantum physics. It's not something that you cannot comprehend. So as long as you do the readings, as long as you watch the lectures, and as long as you do the exams on time and take home assignments on time, I would be very surprised if you got less than B, and I would probably expect you to get an A. So let's try to do the best you can, and hopefully you will like this course. If you are on campus sometimes, stop by my office, say hi. It would be nice to see you guys face to face. But if not, we will communicate online. No big problem. All right. Thank you so much. And yeah, hopefully you will enjoy this course. I'll do my best that you will. I'll do my best to make sure that you like this course, or at least I will do my best to create all the conditions for you to enjoy this course. All right. Bye-bye.